Okay, so now we're going to do reading. We're starting a new story called Thunder Cake. And it's a story that deals with the sequence of events. And so when we're looking at a sequence of events, we look for keywords like first, then, next, and last. Or first, second, third, or something that shows order, time order, okay? So this story that I'm going to read you that helps you understand sequence of events is called Sophie's Special Sponge Cake. And so throughout the story, I'm going to ask you some questions that deal with sequence of events. So, Sophie's Special Sponge Cake by Kristen Sutton. Under Nana's watchful eyes, Sophie had mixed and measured, beaten and blended her light-as-air sponge cake. After it was baked, she had filled it with delicious buttercream and sweet raspberry jam, then topped it off with snowy white icing. So, in that sentence, what are two words that help you understand order of events? I'll read the sentence again. After it was baked, she had filled it with delicious buttercream and sweet raspberry jam, then topped it off with snowy white icing. Good. After and then are the two words that help us understand the order of events. Nana had been so impressed that she had set it on the special shelf while Granddad was busy sugaring donuts. She said it was just as special in its own way as any of the big ones. That morning, a young lady with a baby came in and asked Granddad if he had a special cake for a special occasion. Naturally, madam, he told her. This is Golightly's, you know. Sophie watched Granddad go to the shelf and reach up for a cake. Oh, let it be mine, she thought. But no. Granddad took down the christening cake and placed it proudly on the counter. This is the perfect cake for your happy event, he told the lady, and of course the lady had to agree. At lunchtime, an elderly gentleman came in and asked Granddad if he had a special cake for a special occasion. Why, of course, sir, Granddad told the man. This is Golightly's after all. Once again, Sophie watched him approach the shelf. Please let it be mine, she thought. But Granddad selected the cake with the golden roses. This is the perfect cake for your golden anniversary, he said to the gentleman, and of course the gentleman had to agree. Later that afternoon, a smartly dressed woman entered the shop and asked Granddad if he had a special cake for a special occasion. Certainly, madam, Granddad replied. This is Golightly's, the best cake shop in town. Once again, Granddad went to the shelf, and once again, Sophie held her breath. Let it be mine, she pleaded silently. But no. With great care, Granddad lifted the towering wedding cake and set it on the counter. This is the perfect cake for your daughter's wedding, he said, and of course, the lady had to agree. So in what order do the three customers come to the store? Good. We've got the baby getting a christening, the man with the golden anniversary, and the lady with her daughter having a wedding, right? The wedding dress. So do they all come at the same time? No. The lady with the christening comes at breakfast or in the morning, and then at lunchtime, the elderly gentleman, and in the afternoon, the lady that has the daughter getting married. So how does the author let you know that they aren't at the same time and they come at different times of the day? Good. We are told in the morning, at lunchtime, later in the afternoon. So those are also words of order, of sequence, telling us at what place, at what time people are doing these things. Let's continue. Sophie was so disappointed it was nearly closing time, and Granddad had sold every one of his cakes but hers. Then, just as Granddad was about to lock up, a young man rushed in, holding the hand of a little girl. I'd like a special cake for a very special occasion, please, he said. It's Rebecca's 5th birthday. Oh, dear, said Granddad, looking embarrassed. I'm afraid I've sold every cake in my shop today. So how does the author connect these events to the earlier ones? How does the author connect the man coming in with the 5-year-old to the earlier ones? Good. He starts it with then, and it's later in the day, right? It's close to closing time. So we have the word then, and we also have time of day, morning, lunchtime, later in the afternoon. Now we're at closing time, right? So probably around 5 o'clock. Oh dear, said Granddad, looking embarrassed. I'm afraid I've sold every cake in my shop today. The young man looked surprised. But isn't this Golightly's, the shop that has the perfect cake for any occasion? Granddad shuffled his feet. Dreadfully sorry, he mumbled. We've been so busy, you see. Sophie tugged at his sleeve. Granddad, we do have one cake left, she whispered. Look. And for the first time, Granddad noticed Sophie's baked it all by myself sponge cake. He gave a gasp of admiration. Why, what have we here? This looks like a very special cake indeed. As he set the cake on the counter, Sophie said, This is the perfect cake for your birthday, Rebecca. And of course, Rebecca and Granddad had to agree. So, we know its sequence of events by the time of the day, right? We knew it starts in the morning, ends at closing time. So this story helps us with time of the day, not the first, next, then, next, and last, but more the time of day. Okay, we also have some high frequency words we're going to learn. Air, child, heavy, and hour. So air is what we breathe. Good. A child is a young person. Heavy is the opposite of light. And hour, this hour tells a dimension of time. Okay, it's a standard of time. It's not something that belongs to a group of people. So you will be completing the practice book page 129 in your practice book. It says, finish each rhyme with a word from the box. The words in the box are hour, child, heavy, air, child, heavy, and hour. And when we rhyme, is it the beginning of the words that sound alike or the end of the words that sound alike? Very good. It is the end of the words that sound alike. So we'll do the first one together. Thunder and lightning, we don't care. The smell of thunder cake is in the air, child, heavy, or hour. So we would need to rhyme care and good, air. So that would be air. So you're going to rhyme the last word with one of the words in the box. Okay. And that is reading. And I'll see a little bit from some math.